Okay, the other day in class, I didn't show this, and I probably should have, with Desmos, and how you can change A, B, C, and D just using sliders. This is a real useful tool to explore what A, B, C, and D do, or actually any variable with a function. When we look at real world examples next week, you'll find that this is a useful thing. Anyway, so what you can do is plug in, so go y is equal to, and then you plug in your function, but instead of putting a number in for A, B, C, and D, you just put in those letters. So you put an A in, and then I had A and then sign of, and here you need to put a B, but then put another bracket. And then here we'll have our x minus, and then here you can just put a C in. Let me think about that for a second. Yeah, you can just put a C in because that'll take care of the B. Okay, and then after you'll have to finish both those brackets, and then at the end you put a plus D in. D. Okay, and now right below there it says add a slider, A, B, C, and D, and I click on all. Okay, so now that you've clicked on all, you can go and change those. Let me just grab my pencil here. So if I'm looking for A, I can take A and move it to the side, and you can see that it goes up. And then as you go down, lower, it gets flatter and flatter, and then finally it flips over. And that's when A is negative, right? So a reflection over the x-axis. So let's leave that one sort of at its base value of 1. And then B is also its base value is 1. Let me just see here. C, its base value is 0. And D's base value is 0. Let me put those back to normal. So right there is the normal, I guess, normal sign graph, where things that are being multiplied, A and B, are both 1. Things that are being added or subtracted are both 0. So C and D are both 0. So let's mess with B a little bit. B is your horizontal left and right. And so if I move this to the right and make it bigger, notice that the graph gets squishier and squishier. And as I make it smaller and smaller, it gets wider and wider. And then there will come a point where the graph will flip over the x-axis. Not the x-axis, the y-axis. Right there. So it flipped over the vertical axis. Okay, and then C, we've seen before, if I move it right and left, so that's the horizontal translation, and then D is the vertical translation. So maybe get used to putting in those variables and then playing with the variables just to kind of match up with some kind of function that you might have. And like I said, we'll be doing more of that next week.